If you think your pantry is fully stocked and your household is ready for anything, it might be time to reassess. Here's the reality. By December, we could be facing serious shortages, sky-high prices, and empty shelves. Global uncertainties, crop failures due to unpredictable weather, disrupted supply chains, and rising inflation are creating the perfect storm. If you're not prepared, your household might struggle to secure the essentials. In this video, we're highlighting 8 critical grocery items you need to stockpile right now. These aren't just nice-to-haves, they're must-haves to ensure your family's security during challenging times. Some of these items are already experiencing price increases of 20%, 30%, or even 50%, and reports of shortages are widespread. Major producers are issuing warnings, signaling that these issues could persist well into next year. This isn't about fear, it's about being proactive. By the time most people catch on, prices will have surged even higher, and the options will be slim. Acting now gives you the chance to stay ahead and protect your household. So, grab a pen and get ready to take notes. December isn't just another month, it's a critical deadline, and time is running out. Let's make sure you and your family have everything you need. Number 1. Let's get straight to the point. Wheat and flour are non-negotiable essentials for your food stockpile. You might think you've got enough on hand, but these aren't just everyday pantry items. They're the backbone of your food security. Once they're gone, restocking won't be as simple as running to the store. Our global wheat supply chain is far more fragile than it seems. It heavily depends on a few key regions: Russia, Ukraine, the United States, and a handful of others. Take the war in Ukraine, for example. This isn't just a military conflict. It's a crisis for global wheat exports. Before the war, Ukraine provided nearly 30% of the world's wheat. Now, ongoing disruptions and compromised shipping routes have slashed that number. Meanwhile, Russia, holding a dominant position in the wheat market, isn't exactly prioritizing price stability or global support. Add to this severe droughts impacting the U.S. Midwest and Canada, and the result is a perfect storm of rising prices and dwindling supplies. Now, think about what this means for you. Flour isn't just a pantry staple, it's the foundation of countless daily comforts. Bread, pasta, tortillas, pancakes, cookies, and even crackers. Without it, those hearty meals you rely on will turn into bare-bones alternatives. Planning ahead is critical because improvising when supplies run out is much harder than you might think. Sure, alternatives like almond or coconut flour are available, but they're expensive and lack the versatility of traditional flour. Let's be honest, making a decent loaf of bread or a satisfying pizza crust with almond flour isn't as simple as an online recipe makes it sound. Don't gamble with your food security. Stock up on wheat and flour now before shortages and price hikes make them harder to find. Here's a vital reminder. Your supply won't last forever without proper storage. Bugs, moisture, and time can quickly ruin it. The solution? Store your flour in airtight Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. This simple step can extend its shelf life by years, protecting your investment and ensuring your preparedness. If you're serious about long-term survival, consider wheat berries. These unprocessed wheat kernels have an incredibly long shelf life when stored properly, dry and sealed. They're also extremely versatile. You can grind them into fresh flour, sprout them for added nutrients, or cook them whole as a grain. Flour made from freshly ground wheat is not only healthier, but also tastes far superior. With wheat berries, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. For a solid survival plan, aim to stockpile around 200 pounds of wheat or flour per person per year. Yes, per person. Take a moment to calculate your household's needs and start building your reserves now. Don't underestimate the importance of this staple, thinking you'll just bake less bread in tough times. Bread isn't just a food. It's a source of calories, comfort, and cultural connection. It can mean the difference between a satisfying meal and going to bed hungry. Thinking of growing your own wheat? Keep in mind that it's not a simple backyard project. Successful wheat farming requires ample space, time, and expertise to yield enough for even one person. For most, it's far more practical to buy wheat while it's still affordable and accessible. Flour is more than just food. It's a survival tool. You can use it to stretch meals, thicken soups, and even trade in times of scarcity. Imagine a scenario where shelves are empty and flour becomes as valuable as gold. A single pound of flour could be a powerful bartering item, while wheat berries unlock countless possibilities. In times of crisis, people will desperately seek wheat to bake their own essential foods. Don't be caught unprepared. If you think you've stored enough, think again. If you believe you don't need it, reconsider. Store it wisely, protect it carefully, and stock up now while supplies are still available. When prices skyrocket or stocks disappear, you'll be baking bread while others make do with plain rice, longing for something more. Number 2 on our list of must-have items before December ends is toilet paper. It might seem like an ordinary household item, but it's a crucial addition to your emergency supplies. Imagine this. Supply chains are disrupted, store shelves are empty, and chaos is everywhere. In moments like these, not having a stash of toilet paper can be a serious inconvenience. This isn't just about comfort. It's about maintaining hygiene, health, and dignity when things get tough. Now think about reaching for that last roll and finding it gone. What would you do? Resort to leaves, rags, or worse? Hopefully you'll never have to answer that question, but it's better to be prepared than regretful. Why is toilet paper often overlooked? It's always there, neatly stacked in stores, so we take it for granted. But remember the early days of the pandemic? Toilet paper flew off the shelves, revealing just how fragile its supply chain can be. While most toilet paper in the US is produced domestically, the raw materials often come from abroad. Disruptions in international shipping, labor shortages, or surging demand can quickly lead to empty shelves and inflated prices. What about alternatives like cloth rags or reusable options? They might seem practical, but they come with their own challenges. Reusable cloths require constant cleaning, which means access to water, soap, and bleach, resources that might be limited during an emergency. Stocking up on toilet paper now is a simple yet essential step to avoid unnecessary stress later. Imagine a water shortage scenario. Absolute chaos. Suddenly, even basic necessities like toilet paper become invaluable. Paper towels, while they're tough, their durability can backfire, wreaking havoc on your plumbing if not disposed of carefully. As for nature-based alternatives, let's just say unless you enjoy unpleasant surprises like poison ivy, you might want to think twice. Hygiene is more than just comfort. It's crucial for survival. Did you know the average person uses around 100 rolls of toilet paper per year? In a crisis, that number can skyrocket due to stress-induced ailments or less frequent flushing to conserve water. For a family of 4, you're looking at about 400 rolls annually, and that's a conservative estimate. Skimping on this essential isn't an option. Worried about storage? Don't be. Toilet paper is lightweight, compressible, and can be tucked away in closets, under beds, or even in the attic. It's the perfect item to stockpile without eating up your living space. Plus, it's not just for personal use. It's an exceptional barter tool. A barter tool, worth its weight in gold picture, empty store shelves, and desperate neighbors. In such times, a single roll of toilet paper could become as valuable as gold. People might trade food, tools, or even fuel for that comforting necessity. While canned goods and other staples are great barter items, few things rival the demand for toilet paper during a shortage. The perks of stockpiling toilet paper. Long shelf life. Toilet paper doesn't spoil, doesn't need special storage, and stays usable indefinitely if kept dry and out of sunlight. Versatility. Stock up on bulk packs for daily use and camping-sized rolls for emergencies. Backup options. Consider adding tissues and wet wipes to your stockpile. However, bear in mind that wet wipes lack biodegradability and cannot completely substitute toilet paper over an extended period. When preparing for the unexpected, don't underestimate the power of these everyday essentials. Whether it's for hygiene, comfort, or trading, toilet paper is a survival staple you can't afford to overlook. Number 3 on the list is canned fruits. And let me tell you, this is a total game changer. Envision your pantry as a stronghold, brimming with vibrant, juicy canned fruits, poised to provide assistance during challenging times. Undoubtedly, they are a delectable confection. However, their appeal extends beyond their flavor. These are your secret weapons, nutrient-rich, energy-boosting essentials that are impossible to overlook. Let's break it down. If you're not already stacking up on canned peaches, pineapples, mixed fruits, or even classic applesauce, you're setting yourself up for trouble. Canned fruits aren't just about satisfying hunger, they're about keeping you healthy, energized, and ready to face whatever comes your way. Why are canned fruits a must-have in your stockpile? Primarily, canned fruits are abundant in vitamin C, which plays a crucial role in bolstering your immune system and preventing scurvy. Imagine experiencing symptoms such as bleeding gums, fatigue, and infections during a period when medical supplies are scarce. This is not a situation you want to find yourself in. Be prepared and stock up now to avoid that nightmare. But there's more. Canned fruits also provide natural sugars for quick energy and fiber to keep your digestion running smoothly. Amid a diet heavy on dry carbs and proteins, wouldn't a can of honeyed peaches or juicy pineapples be a welcome burst of flavor and morale? It's more than just food. It's a way to stay positive and balanced in tough times. Now, let's talk storage. Canned fruits are champions of long-term prepping. They're naturally shelf-stable, don't require refrigeration, and boast a shelf life of 2 to 5 years straight off the store shelf. Here's a pro tip. Those expiration dates? They're often just guidelines. With proper storage, your canned fruits can last even longer. Canned fruits aren't just survival tools, they're about thriving when the going gets tough. So stock up and be ready to face the unexpected with a pantry full of energy-packed, morale-boosting, vitamin-rich treasures. Canned fruits can last for decades if stored properly in a cool, dry place. Sure, the texture might change over time, but the nutritional value remains intact. When fresh fruit fades into the past, does it matter if the peaches are slightly soft? However, not all cans are equal. Steer clear of those exhibiting signs of dents, rust, or swelling, as these may signal potential contamination risks such as botulism. For the health-conscious, fruits packed in juice are a better choice than those in heavy syrups. But don't write off syrup-packed options. They're calorie-dense and can double as sweeteners or quick energy boosters. Don't overlook applesauce or fruit purees either. They're versatile beyond desserts, blending perfectly into baked goods, oatmeal, or even as natural sweeteners. Thinking dried fruits are the ultimate solution? Think again. While they're lightweight and easy to store, they fall short compared to canned fruits when it comes to calorie density, hydration, and shelf life. Plus, they're often more expensive and lack that refreshing juiciness canned fruits offer. In a survival scenario, hydration becomes a top priority, and canned fruits pack a bonus. Natural juices that help conserve water for more critical needs. When fresh produce disappears from store shelves due to panic buying, seasonal scarcity, or disrupted supply chains, canned fruits become indispensable. Imported fruits like bananas and mangoes will vanish, and even local produce will be hard to come by. That's where canned fruits step in, offering stability in an unpredictable world. And here's a survival hack. Canned fruits aren't just food, they're currency. When others are rationing crackers or beans, imagine trading a can of luscious peaches or fruit cocktail. Suddenly, it's not just fruit, it's leverage for essentials like fuel, tools, or even labor. Canned fruits are also a reliable source of vitamin C, which your body doesn't store. Unlike fat or protein, vitamin C is water-soluble, meaning you need a regular supply to maintain resilience. While multivitamins are helpful, they can degrade over time and eventually run out. Canned fruits, however, offer a long-lasting, nutrient-packed safety net with added fiber, hydration, and energy. Don't wait until it's too late. Stock up on canned fruits now. They're more than just a pantry item. They're an investment in your future health and security. Trust us, future you will thank you. Number 4. Cooking fuel. The essentials. You can't afford to overlook. Imagine this. You've spent months prepping, filling your pantry with enough rice, beans, and pasta to last for months. You're feeling confident, knowing your family will have food when disaster strikes. But then, the power goes out. The gas supply is cut off. Propane deliveries are no longer guaranteed. Suddenly, all the dry goods you've carefully stocked up on become worthless without the fuel to cook them. That's why cooking fuel isn't a luxury. It's a must-have for survival. You might immediately think of propane, and for good reason. Propane is considered the most reliable option for long-term cooking efficiency. Propane doesn't degrade over time, it's portable, and it burns hot and steady. Whether you're cooking at home or on the go, those handy propane cylinders are essential. But here's a common misconception. One tank will get you through. Let's bust that myth. A typical 20 pounds propane tank gives you about 20 hours of cooking at high heat. If you're cooking 3 meals a day, that tank will last roughly 1 week for a single person. Now, picture a family of 4. Suddenly, you'll need dozens of tanks just to get through an extended emergency. And with propane shortages no longer a distant threat caused by supply chain issues and high winter demand, it's crucial to stock up now. Prices are climbing, and soon, propane may not even be available on store shelves. Next, consider charcoal. If you have a grill, charcoal can serve as a reliable backup fuel source. It's affordable, easy to store, as long as it stays dry, and provides a dependable way to cook outdoors. However, charcoal has a limitation. It burns fast. A single bag might only last 3 to 4 days. So, while it's a useful option, you'll need to stockpile plenty if you want it to get you through an extended crisis. If you're planning for emergency cooking, preparation is key. A month of cooking requires a substantial fuel stockpile. Opt for high-quality, long-burning charcoal instead of cheaper varieties that turn to ash quickly. A charcoal chimney starter is essential as it eliminates the need for lighter fluid, a valuable resource to conserve. Thinking about using wood? Get ready for a challenge. While a campfire might sound romantic, the reality involves chopping, hauling, and maintaining steady cooking heat. Wet wood is useless, so if this is your plan, begin stockpiling seasoned firewood now. Drying wood takes 6 to 12 months, and you'll need tools like an axe, saw, or splitting maul, along with a secure storage space protected from rain and pests. Counting on scavenging for wood might backfire since many others will have the same idea, quickly depleting local supplies. Don't overlook butane stoves and camping fuel. Compact and portable, these are perfect for short-term use or emergencies. Lightweight butane canisters are easy to store, but they shouldn't be your primary fuel source. They're expensive and run out quickly. Think of them as a backup for unexpected situations, or when you're on the move. As for trendy options like solar cookers and homemade rocket stoves, they're more of a supplement than a solution. Solar cookers work great on sunny days but fail in poor weather and can't reliably cook large meals. Use them to complement your main setup, not as the core of your plan. Safety should always be a priority. Never cook indoors with propane or charcoal unless your space is properly ventilated. The risk of carbon monoxide poisoning is life-threatening. Outdoor setups or well-ventilated locations are non-negotiable. A camping stove in a closed area can be more dangerous than going without food altogether. Finally, remember the value of cooking fuel in a crisis. When others realize they can't cook, items like propane tanks or bags of charcoal become incredibly valuable for trading. You can barter fuel for food, tools, or even protection. However, make sure to first secure your own supply to prevent the need to exchange incomplete meals for basic necessities. Number 5. Stockpile cooking oil before it's too late. Here's why it's critical for your survival. If you're serious about thriving and maintaining some sense of normalcy during uncertain times, take a moment to listen. Cooking oil, once seen as just an everyday pantry item, is quickly becoming one of the most essential commodities to stock up on. This is not a drill. We often underestimate the role of cooking oil in our daily routines until we find ourselves without it. Think beyond just frying or sautéing. Cooking oil is the cornerstone of countless culinary activities. It's crucial for baking, making marinades, stir-frying, preparing dressings, and even preserving foods like jerky or confit. Without it, many meals wouldn't just lose flavor, they could become nearly impossible to make. Currently, global cooking oil production is under significant strain. Droughts are devastating soybean crops across the American Midwest, severely impacting one of the key sources of vegetable oil. Geopolitical tensions are disrupting sunflower oil exports from regions like Ukraine, Europe's breadbasket, further complicating availability. Meanwhile, countries like Spain and Italy are facing blockades and rising tensions in the Mediterranean, which affect the flow of other oils. On top of that, rising temperatures have led to a sharp drop in olive oil production, with some regions seeing a reduction of over 30%. As a result, prices have soared, with some oils now costing 2 to 3 times what they did just a year ago. If you think you can simply wait out these changes, think again. Behind the scenes, major companies are already blending high-quality oils, such as olive oil, with cheaper alternatives to meet demand. If you're not paying attention, you might end up overpaying for diluted products, or, even worse, find yourself facing empty grocery shelves. Imagine walking into your supermarket only to see once stocked shelves of canola, sunflower, or peanut oil completely bare. It's not a far-off scenario. It could happen sooner than you think. So, how can you prepare for this? While cooking oils do have expiration dates, those dates shouldn't be a deal breaker. With proper storage, keeping them in a cool, dark place, and ensuring they're tightly sealed, oils can last well beyond the printed expiration. For a longer-lasting option, consider coconut oil. Its natural resistance to oxidation allows it to stay fresh for years if stored properly. Another great choice is clarified butter, or ghee, which is shelf-stable and packed with nutrients, making it a perfect backup. Animal fats like lard and tallow are also worth considering. Not only do they store exceptionally well, but they're versatile enough for cooking, frying, baking, and even non-food uses like waterproofing leather or conditioning cast iron cookware. Here's a tip. Even if your oil turns rancid, don't throw it away just yet. While it may lose its fresh taste, rancid oil can still serve many purposes. It can be used as fuel for lamps, as a conditioner for wood, or even as a lubricant for tools and machinery. In times of scarcity, the cooking oil in your pantry isn't just for cooking, it's a hidden survival tool. Don't wait until it's too late. Cooking oil is transitioning from a common kitchen staple to a rare luxury. Don't find yourself trading your canned soups or powdered milk for a small bottle of olive oil when the shelves run dry. Stock up on every type you can. Vegetable, canola, olive, coconut, lard, ghee, and peanut oil. When your neighbors are left with plain rice, you'll be enjoying crispy fried pancakes. Number 6. Pasta, the unsung hero of your emergency pantry. Pasta might seem like just a quick and easy meal, but in survival situations, it's far more valuable than you might think. When the shelves are empty and supplies are scarce, you'll be thankful for every box of pasta in your pantry. Not only is it budget-friendly, but it's also incredibly versatile and has a long shelf life when stored properly. Pasta isn't just another item to tick off your shopping list. It's a high-calorie, morale-boosting essential that can keep you sustained when other foods run low. Why should pasta earn a top spot in your stockpile? Made primarily from durum wheat semolina, it boasts an impressive shelf life and provides about 200 calories per uncooked cup. The carbohydrates in pasta are essential for maintaining energy during tough times, and now is certainly not the moment for restrictive diets. You need fuel, and pasta is here to provide it. Pasta is a fantastic base for countless meals and can be paired with anything you've stored, from canned goods to simple olive oil and garlic. As variety becomes scarce, pasta can turn even the simplest pantry ingredients into hearty, filling dishes. But pasta's benefits go beyond its practicality. There are real challenges to consider. The global wheat shortage has hit pasta production hard. Italy, the birthplace of pasta, is struggling with rising durum wheat costs due to climate issues and supply chain disruptions. Leading pasta manufacturers are sounding the alarm about looming shortages and rising prices, and unfortunately, these effects are already reaching your local grocery store. Now's the time to stock up before pasta becomes harder to find and more expensive. Think switching to gluten-free or chickpea pasta is the best option? Think again. These alternatives are often pricier and harder to find. Don't wait until it's too late. Stocking up on traditional pasta is a smart move. Here's a common mistake: assuming that pasta, being dry, is indestructible. While pasta has impressive shelf life, it still requires proper storage. The cardboard boxes they come in aren't enough. These boxes can attract pests like pantry moths and weevils. If your storage area is humid, your pasta might absorb moisture and spoil. The fix? Transfer your pasta to airtight containers or Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. With this setup, your pasta can stay fresh for more than a decade. Yes, over 10 years. The price of today's box of spaghetti could provide a meal for pennies, even when inflation makes everything else more expensive. Pasta's versatility is unmatched. It works for any meal: breakfast, lunch, snacks, or dinner. Need a comforting soup? Add small pasta shapes like elbows or orzo. Want to stretch a can of meat or vegetables? Pasta can help. In a pinch, pasta can be your fastest meal solution. Angel hair cooks in under 3 minutes. When there are limited food options, even cold pasta salads can boost morale. Pasta isn't just about calories. It's about comfort, variety, and avoiding food fatigue. Pasta also has potential bartering power. In times of scarcity, pasta becomes a form of currency. You could exchange a single package for fresh produce, fuel, or labor. It's lightweight, compact, and universally valued. People are willing to make significant sacrifices for a warm pasta meal, particularly after a prolonged period without hearty food. Having extra pasta means you're in control. Finally, pasta isn't just a survival food. It's a psychological comfort. There's a reason it's been a favorite for so long. When times are tough, a bowl of pasta with sauce or butter can bring a sense of normalcy. That small comfort is priceless when the weight of survival feels overwhelming. Number 7, let's get straight to the point. If you're not stockpiling coffee right now, you're setting yourself up for potential disaster. You might think of coffee as a luxury, a morning ritual, or just a comforting treat. But when things get tough, coffee becomes much more than that. It's an essential part of maintaining morale, staying sharp, and even bartering during times of crisis. When faced with intense stress, limited sleep, and constant exhaustion, your coffee stash becomes an indispensable tool. It keeps you alert and focused, a vital edge when tough decisions are part of daily survival. Underestimating coffee's importance in a crisis is a mistake you can't afford to make. The caffeine boosts mental clarity and concentration, helping you stay on top of challenges when everything feels overwhelming. As emergencies unfold, sleep will likely become scarce. Long shifts, security duties, and the stress of the unknown will take their toll on your usual rest. While coffee can't replace sleep, it extends your ability to function when sleep isn't an option, keeping you going longer than you'd expect. Now let's talk about the growing problem. The coffee supply chain is in serious trouble. Climate change is hitting major coffee-producing countries like Brazil, Colombia, and Ethiopia hard. Rising temperatures and unpredictable weather are damaging crops, causing yields to plummet. On top of that, the global supply chain is struggling, with shipping delays, labor shortages, and rising costs. Coffee is becoming harder to find, and prices are skyrocketing. Waiting to stock up could mean paying double for half the amount. Or worse, finding the shelves empty when you need it most. Here's where it gets practical. Coffee has a surprisingly long shelf life. Ground coffee, whole beans, and even instant coffee can last for years when stored properly. Invest in airtight containers or vacuum-sealed bags, and keep your coffee in a cool, dry place away from light to preserve its freshness. Instant coffee, often overlooked, is an ideal survival option. Compact, lightweight, and nearly indestructible. No need for boiling water. Lukewarm will work in a pinch. If you prefer fresh coffee, stock up on whole beans or ground coffee and consider getting a manual grinder. While electricity may be unavailable, having the right tools lets you drink coffee when you need it. Let's not overlook coffee's potential as a valuable trading asset in tough times when luxuries become scarce. Coffee quickly transforms into a highly sought-after commodity, one that people will trade food, tools, or even fuel for when the need arises. It's not just a drink, it's a psychological comfort, a reminder of normalcy amid chaos. Position yourself as the one with the coffee supply, not the one desperately swapping essentials for a cup of instant coffee. Beyond its stimulating effects, coffee is incredibly versatile. Caffeine in coffee alleviates headaches, enhances focus, and even suppresses hunger when food is scarce. But don't throw away used coffee grounds. They have practical uses too. You can use them to neutralize odors, naturally repel insects, or enrich your compost for gardening. So, don't underestimate your coffee consumption needs. Plan ahead. A single cup requires around 10 to 12 grams of coffee grounds. Calculate how much your household consumes daily, and then factor in how long you may need to go without store access. For a family of 4, each drinking 2 cups per day, you'll need about 30 pounds of coffee annually. That's just for personal use. Keep extra on hand for bartering, boosting morale, or unexpected situations. Coffee is both a staple and a luxury you can't afford to overlook. Number 8. Stockpile water filtration systems. Let's get one thing straight. Water is life. Without access to clean, drinkable water, you're seriously jeopardizing your survival. Think I'm exaggerating? Think again. You can go weeks without food, but just 3 days without water can be life-threatening. During a crisis, clean water will disappear faster than you can say, power outage. Whether it's a natural disaster, infrastructure failure, or full-on societal collapse, water is going to be one of the first things to go. So, unless you're one of the rare few with an off-grid well, you need a solid plan to filter, purify, and collect whatever water you can get your hands on. You could stock up on bottled water, but let's be real, that's just a temporary fix. There's no way you can store enough bottles to last a family through a long-term crisis. Did you know that the average person needs at least 1 gallon of water per day just for drinking and basic hygiene? That means a family of 4 will go through 120 gallons in a month, even if you ration. Can you store that much water? Most people can't, and even if you have a warehouse of bottled water, what happens when it runs out? You can't just go to a nearby stream or pond and drink untreated water. That'll leave you battling diarrhea, parasites, or worse, deadly infections like cholera. This is where a reliable water filtration system becomes essential. Not having one isn't just a bad idea. It's dangerous. You need something sturdy, dependable, and easy to use. A gravity-fed system like a Berkey is a great option. These systems effectively filter out bacteria, viruses, heavy metals, and even microplastics. And because they don't rely on electricity, they're a lifesaver during power outages. Worried about the cost? Think long-term. A high-quality filtration system can purify thousands of gallons over its lifetime. It's not just an expense, it's your lifeline. Make sure to stock up on extra filters because they do wear out. That way, you'll have a water filtration system that keeps you hydrated long after your neighbors have run out of bottled water. And don't forget to consider a portable filtration solution, especially if you need to bug out and relocate quickly. A portable filter can be a game changer when you're on the move and need to ensure access to clean water. A lightweight, compact tool like the Lift Straw or Sawyer Mini can be a lifesaver when you're on the move. These portable water filters are perfect for drinking directly from streams or other questionable water sources. For added safety, include purification tablets or drops in your emergency kit to neutralize bacteria and viruses that even the best filters might miss. Boiling water is another option, but it requires time, fuel, and effort, and it doesn't remove heavy metals or chemicals. Water filters are faster, more efficient, and more reliable. Never assume that clean water will always be accessible. Consider setting up a rainwater collection system using gutters, barrels, tarps, or whatever works for your environment. Just be sure to check local laws, as some areas have restrictions on rainwater harvesting, which may seem absurd in a real emergency. In that situation, the only thing that matters is having enough water to drink, cook, clean, and survive. By combining your rainwater system with a dependable filter, you'll be unstoppable. You'll be able to prepare your emergency food supplies, clean wounds, wash cooking utensils, and maintain hygiene. Dirty water is not just an inconvenience, it's a death sentence. Even seemingly clean rainwater or snowmelt can carry bacteria or pesticide runoff, so always filter it before consumption. Lastly, a high-quality water filtration system can be an invaluable trade item in a crisis.